Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. I am back, honey, and it's time for us to talk about Married to Medicine. All right. Now, first things first, we still see Jackie sitting down with Simone trying to sort things out with the friendship. In the midst of them having this conversation of Simone wanting Jackie to admit what it is that she really saw on the footage and that Heavenly lied on her, right? Heavenly is giving extraness. She's giving her ad libs, right? She's saying, and she did. And then says, I want her to take accountability for yelling at me. It's like, Heavenly, baby, you always yelling at somebody, right? You always yelling. And keep in mind, girl, because see, y'all like to forget this, right? Keep in mind that Simone yelled at your R's after you yelled at her. She said, I'm not finna deal with this. Get this fake ass from around me. Get your hands up. Don't put your hands on me, right? Then you start yelling, Simone, I'm sorry if what you dealing with in your marriage, all this extra stuff. Simone turned around and got to yelling at your ass, okay? So it's one of those situations where you often say to Toya, shut the fuck up. Heavenly, shut the fuck up. Okay, and quiet over here, over here laughing. But if it was you and Heavenly having a conversation, and Toya was giving ad libs, and Simone is laughing, you would have said, "Simone, this is very serious. We don't need you laughing at this moment. This is very serious. This is my blood sister from another mother. We don't need all of this. I'm taking this very, very seriously. You need to calm down. If I was talking to you, I will let you know." Like, you would give us all of the theatrics, girl. So pipe down, both of y'all, really. Like, I'm like, why you laughing? What's laughable? Okay, Heavily doing too much is not laughable, especially when it's time for Toya to do too much, and y'all tell Toya she doing too much. Simone deciding to block Jackie, I feel like that was the extreme. But when people get upset, that's what they do, child. But I mean, I would have muted the hell out of her. But I think that Simone did that to really get a reaction out of her. Like, okay, that's the side that you're gonna be on. Then, girl, you blocked too. You could get it too. Block. So Contessa is now calling out Heavenly, saying, girl, this is so blaring, okay? You like to sit up here and cause chaos and do the absolute most, say you're going to beat people arse and do all of this stuff, right? That's you, right? Yeah. And then as soon as I get ready to beat that ass, okay, because I will, okay? I'm glad you know. Listen, I will get ready to tear that ass up. Then you want to sit up here and call security, okay? Heavenly said, no, that's for you, baby. You right. You right. That is for you. Yes, I am going to call security, girl, okay? You've done a lot of things, all right? It's giving I'm every woman and a strong one too. And I'm just not finna, I'm not gonna go there with you, you know what I'm saying? But I will with the other folks, okay? I will say I will be her. It's okay. But Heavenly, you won't. But Heavenly, you won't. Okay? So it's okay to not say that. It's okay to put your mama and I'll beat your ass in the same box with a lock on it over there. It's totally okay to do those things. But I love the fact that Contessa called her out. You use these words like unhinged, this and that. And she's like, well, no, I said that she was volatile and she was and it's like, Heavenly, none of those words that you're saying are any better. Right? Because number one, you're excluding, and all of you ladies did, the fact that Quad did the absolute most. Okay, but I don't know. I guess y'all just, oh my God, we're not gonna say anything to Quad. We're gonna, oh my God, right? Quad did the absolute most, and Simone was not expecting that to come at her, right? So after they was on in a decent place or whatever, Quad did the absolute most. Simone's energy is heightened. Heavenly wants to take a picture, get ass from around me, and then Heavenly get the hooping and hollering. Okay, so yeah, I don't feel like that was volatile at that moment when she told you to get your ass from around her, get your hand up off me. She's unhinged, she's this and that. Were you gonna say the same thing about your girl Quad? Because that was unhinged. Quad looked like she wanted to throw them blows like she did at the reunion last year. But you didn't put those same words towards her. Okay? And then made it seem like Simone was the only one. And that's something I feel like the audience typically does, right? The person that they don't like, they always look at them as if other people on the show don't act the same way. Okay. But either way, that's what's going on here. Can I say that when the guys were in the back and they were talking, Curtis said something like he was joking with Scott, I believe it was. And he was like, oh, don't say anything about my wife. Don't say anything about my wife. Da, 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 da. Honestly, that wasn't Curtis joking with Scott about his wife. That was Curtis mocking Eugene for the things that he may say when it comes to his wife, right? That's what he was doing. We see you, Curtis. So now we're backstage, and you see what Curtis is upset, saying, hear me out, right? He's talking to Eugene. He's upset that Toya has said that he's had his hands on a few different waists, amongst the group, and or had his hands on different women, right? Or whatever. All these different women. And Curtis is saying that Toya perpetuated a lie. Actually, Curtis, Toya did not perpetuate a lie. The problem is, I don't think you know exactly how you show up. Some part of me feels like, as a big grown ass man that you are fully aware of how you show up. But at the same time, I feel like you don't quite know, because your hand movements and the way that you touch people and how you show up to you may be the norm, but it's not. It's just not. We're not at that place, baby. You pull Toya into your lap, right? Some people are like, oh, Toya was standing in front of him and Toya did this and Toya. I don't give a damn about none of that y'all talking about. So you can holler until the cows come home and anybody else, okay? Don't care nothing about that, because any woman, I believe, that would have stood in front of any of those other husbands, they would not have grabbed her by her waist, okay? And sat her in their lap. If anything, those men would have gotten up and let her have the damn seat. Hello? Right? Curtis made an executive decision, and I cringe at some of you guys that may have that thought. Like, I'm just like, okay, what y'all be on? So y'all give to me in my personal, y'all give to me the very people that will accuse women of being violated because they had a short skirt on. Like, y'all weird in my all because you don't like Toya. It's very weird, right? Y'all are excusing Curtis grabbing her and sitting her in his lap. Like, y'all don't see how odd that is. Y'all don't. But y'all want to try and make it seem like, Toya, what's the problem? Ooh, I hate it for the people around you. But either way, all right, Curtis saying that this was a lie. It wasn't a lie, baby. You did it to Toya. You did it to Heavenly in that photo. Do I still have this photo over here? Let me see if I still have this photo over here. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. You guys may have seen snippets or whatever the case is, but this is like, I showed this picture to my husband, and I'm like, babe, who you think is with who? The people standing next to each other, that's their partner. Yeah, nah, that's not what that is. This is his wife over here. He looking surprised. Like, what the hell going on then? How that happen? Exactly. This does not look good. Even with Heavenly standing in front of you, why would you put your hand there? Heavenly, did you know his hand was right there on your hip? Right? Yikes. And on top of the woman that you were caught out here with cheating on your wife with. So in my opinion, baby, that's different women. That's different women. And you don't want to acknowledge that. And I kind of feel like you don't went and found God now, right? And because you went and found God, you think that we supposed to look at you differently. No, not necessarily. That's not what's happening here. Okay? And you upset for Toya answering the question, but y'all ain't mad at Andy for even asking and bringing this up? Oh, okay then. Child, Andy was annoyed with Heavenly as he's over there trying to hold her accountable, right? She said, well, let's go back to the friend. What's your name? Andy didn't like that she didn't remember his name. He like, girl, what's your name? I know that's right. I know Andy wanted to say the name that's probably on your checks when you get it. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay? But I'm glad that he called her out, though, because it wasn't a good look, girl. It wasn't a good look. Baby, the way Heavenly be trying to rewrite history, it be so funny. It be so funny to me. Okay. I removed myself and I was not going to come on that girls trip, but you still came on the girls trip. So you made it appear as though you were threatened by Simone, but you still showed up on the girls trip. Girl, keep playing in their face because they gonna let you. If they gonna let you play, girl, keep playing. I really like that Andy gave the ladies the floor to really talk about DEI and how it affects the medical arena as far as, getting an education and stuff. I really appreciate that for them to be able to expound on that situation. And for me, I feel like that's why it makes the Med Gala a bit that much more important. In my personal, You know what I'm saying? Because now with how things are set up and them not recognizing nursing as a professional degree, and ain't no telling what else gonna happen, child, and how difficult it's gonna be for people to receive the financial assistance that they need to go to school or whatnot. That's even more of a reason to me why you guys shouldn't be sitting up here trying to watch and hope that somebody fails at a damn med gala that is supposed to benefit students that are trying to get to exactly where you are. Hi, Dr. Jackie. How are you today? Okay. How are you today? Y'all spent a lot of time in the previous season dragging Phaedra, right? But wanting to use her resources. If it wasn't for Phaedra, you guys would not have received the 100,000 that you did receive. Okay. Shout out to her for cutting the check when you allowed others to pretend as though she never sent the check at all. Allowed Quad and Heavenly to go out to say whatever it is that they wanted to say about that lady. And that lady let y'all talk for a good minute until because she was through with y'all. She was through with BITs like y'all until she finally dropped those receipts. She dropped those receipts to show that Jackie been getting paid. But see, you know what I learned is that Jackie don't be telling y'all everything. Catch. Jackie don't be telling y'all everything. That's what is given to me. When it comes to the Med Gala, but we'll get into that as we continue to watch the show. But just make that note. That lady had been paid that money, but you had Heavenly and Quad out here running their mouth like she never paid or she didn't pay it this time and she didn't pay and she never gave. First, it was she never gave anything. Then it was she didn't pay on time, right? But the check was still given. I do believe it was given on time, but either way, Jackie don't be like Jackie, you be the cause of so much SHI and the people be letting you skate. And what kills me the most is how you like to sit there and don't say nothing, but you'll nod your head, cock your head back and be like, yeah, that's really, I'm in agreement, but I'm afraid of being exposed. But you're already being exposed. So you might well keep it real, right? But that's where we are. Right? That's where we are. But I appreciate them having this conversation. I think it's very important. I feel like as much as we have the mess on these shows, we can have these real conversations that's impacting the community. So I do hope the Med Gala goes on to be better. Stop trying to make somebody so much of the problem. I just feel like the Med Gala conversation lasts such a long time, on the show, but let's get into y'all lives, get into some other stuff just a little bit. It should be that damn hard to pull together the Met Gala. And maybe if y'all want to ruin the relationship with Phaedra, y'all could have used more of her resources to even get a good bit of that money. Maybe y'all could, and I'm also bringing this up because a lot of people tried to downplay Toya for the good job that she did, even though her castmate said she did an amazing job, and us people that were not there were trying to downplay it as if she did a terrible job. Toya talking about she raised $5,000 for these people like they didn't raise 100,000, and they would have never got that 100,000 had it not been for Phaedra, the very woman that they were sitting up there trying to drag. She made them raise their standards and raise it high. They didn't even believe that they would get that. Be clear. And what Phaedra told them, if not, I'll give the other portion of whatever the people don't get. Because I'm not going to let BITs like y'all make me not do some stuff that I said that I'm going to do. Be very clear about that part. Yeah, see, what Toya raised to me is very typical of what they raise. Okay, and probably didn't raise much the first year. Probably didn't even raise that much the first year. But either way, I do think set your sights a little bit higher. I just feel like they could connect more with some utilizing their resources, right? Shout out to we'll get to that. We'll get to that though. I have to shout out to Toya, but we'll get to all of that as I'm continuing to go back through the show and give you guys my thoughts. But do better. Do better when it comes to the Med Gala after y'all sat up here and had such important conversations about what's happening in the medical community. Then go out there and do what y'all need to do to bring in additional coins to help these people get through school. Okay. And maybe next year it won't be 2 people, right? Maybe y'all could find 5 students that y'all could give donations to help them out with schooling. Okay. Baby, Andy's so funny because he went around the room acknowledging the guys because it's time for us to talk about the men, right? Get around the room. He acknowledges the guys. He tells Cecil how good he looks, right? But when he gets to Steve, who did the most and decided to bedazzle himself, okay? Andy didn't even tell him that he looked good. He just said, I see you got some cleavage out. And what's crazy is to refer to this man having cleavage. Andy, you didn't want to just say he had his chest out. Typically, that's what we say. When King had his chest out, I just don't remember. Was King chest out at the reunion? Y'all remind me. And if so, I feel like I don't remember Andy saying King had cleavage. Maybe King had his stuff buttoned completely up, and maybe that's why. But cleavage is crazy, okay? Even if that may be what it is, I'm just used to people saying, I see you got your chest out there. Baby, I am howling. Okay. So of course we're talking about Eugene and what's his name? Curtis and Lapgate. Okay, as Eugene calls it. Eugene says that Toya was upset or something like that with being pulled into the lap of Curtis. I don't think that's what it was. I think Toya was upset with Jackie and Curtis for acting like it never happened and saying it didn't happen. Jackie denied it and Curtis says that it was a lie. And it's like, is y'all cool? Because there's camera footage, okay? Are y'all okay? Right? So Toya is back there talking to Jackie, and she's saying Curtis pretty much put words in her mouth, saying that she said it was all these women, not all these women, that women came to her or something. And she was like, no, that's not what I said. This is what I said. Then she turns around and tells Jackie, it's your fault. Baby, when I tell y'all, all I watch is Mimi's reaction in this moment. When I tell you, Mimi does not like Toya. Now, keep in mind, Mimi ain't gotta like Toya. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't gotta like nobody. Okay. I think for me, I'm just wondering exactly like what is that? Because it's not so much as Mimi not liking Toya after things that's transpired. Mimi has really taken shots against Toya since episode 1 when she was getting ready to throw her party. So the shots came in out of nowhere. And I'm just like, from the beginning, what is the issue? And come to find out, you don't even know her enough. So what is that? Don't y'all hate when people dislike y'all? They don't even know y'all like that. So I'm just wondering, especially if they got the access to really get to know you. Right. So I'm just like, well, what is that? But baby, when Toya told Jackie it's all her fault, Mimi's like, and she throws her hand up and she says something. I guess she was trying to say they ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah, it don't. I don't know if that's what she said, but she threw her hand up, said something, and she started looking straight. Because I think that's another thing that Mimi will have to realize and learn. The dynamics of this group is just very different when they have such a history. Like they could argue with each other, kick, scratch, hoop, and holler, then they be cool the next second. Like I don't know, but it's just it's just different, right? But all in all, Toya told Jackie the real. Like, this is all your fault, girl. She's like, my fault for what, baby? My fault for what, baby? Baby, what you talking about, baby? Because you sat up there and said that it didn't happen when it did happen. Yikes. It's crazy because Eugene tells Curtis, you would not admit that you pulled my wife into your lap. Like, you wouldn't admit that. And then Curtis says, because you wouldn't admit that you perpetuated that lie. Like, first of all, I'm confused on why you would even say that. But then, 2, you pretty much admitted it backstage. And 3, we don't really need you to admit anything when the footage is there. Sorry. Child, I just shake my head because Curtis says that Eugene never takes responsibility when it comes to his wife. He has. He has. Okay. He has, baby. Oopsie doopsie. So sorry for you, but he has. It's so funny. So funny to hear Curtis say it's not about being stubborn. It's about being accurate. Eugene is accurate. He's accurate in supporting and standing behind his wife, and he's also accurate that what happened happened. And had you not did what you did with the lady at the airport, you not pulled Toya into your lap, you not put your hands on the hip of Heavenly when I dip, you dip, we dip. And if you did not do whatever slight thing that you did to Simone where you touched her or whatever that situation was, it wouldn't appear as a pattern of behavior and people wouldn't be calling you out for it. So you got to sit in it. You may not like the fact that she talked about that, right? But that's the reality of the situation that you are failing to realize. So as much as you're spewing accountability and responsibility in Eugene's way, some of them fingers pointing back at you because you failed to do that as well. I love Eugene. Y'all not gonna make me dislike Eugene at all, okay? Curtis said you're lying. I'm done with it. Sound very much like your wife, Jackie. Buffy, I apologize. Done with it. That's what it's giving. I see why y'all with each other, child. Okay? Baby, the way Eugene sat back there and had his hands like, okay, we can be done with it. Like, that's not a problem. We can be done with it. Baby, Steve was all in. He up here. Baby, the seat back here, he all the way on edge. Like, baby, how far you want to lean? How far you want to lean in to get into it, love? He all the way. Okay. So soon as they done, now you want to sit back. Baby, you could have been sitting back, honestly. You could have actually still been sitting in the back. Hello? Cause y'all don't act like we didn't see Shamar up there for no reason. Why y'all got Shamar? Why y'all got all that good lookingness sitting in the back? Why is Shamar in the back? Tell Shamar to come to the front. Okay. Anyway, girl. Baby, Steve, you look a fucking fool. You look a fool. All letters, okay? So Eugene is talking about the situation that happened at him and Toya's house, and he pretty much said, all of us may say or do things that we don't mean in our relationship or whatever. Y'all got y'all friction. And then he says, we just happen to be on camera. We were so in the moment that we didn't realize the cameras were there, and we just was in our moment, right? As soon as he says this, here goes somebody that is so ready to have a moment with Eugene. He jumps in and says, sounds like a narrative shift to me. So what you think, not Curtis, but what you think Damon just did? Sitting next to you. You don't think that was a narrative shift, knowing he got a massage? Baby, a massage is a massage, whether it's a back massage, a foot massage, a leg massage, okay, a body massage. A massage is a massage. And he over here talking about we get massages weekly, very much on the FS that his wife be on. We get massages weekly. So I didn't really see that as a massage. Baby, you could pull that on her, but you're not gonna pull that on us. And that is a narrative shift. Be clear. Okay? All Eugene is doing is explaining the situation. He didn't I feel like narrative shift would be him trying to completely change it from something different. He is literally sitting there admitting that, yeah, we acted in a manner that was not right to each other. Right? And what we did just happened to be caught on camera. And here you go with your stuff because you searching for a moment so bad. And honestly, I would have just kept making him look stupid and I feel like Eugene did that because for the most part, I feel like Eugene's energy kind of stayed here. Steve was going up in here with it, and you really made yourself look a fool ultimately. So Steve is feeling a way that he felt like the focus that Toya had at the house when she said UBs or whatever, UBITs, he felt like she was giving that energy to primarily Mimi and Heavenly. Number one, that's not the case, okay? I feel like if Toya was calling anybody a B, which she did say UBs, I feel like she was talking about the people that's been around her the longest, not no damn Mimi that she don't even damn know like that. For real, right? And then you're sitting here telling this man to take accountability, and where's the apology? Love, I need y'all to understand this today in 2026. Accountabilities do not always come with apologies. Accountability is where you acknowledge your own actions, right? And that is what this man was doing in that moment before you interrupted it and made it about what Toya did. He was talking about he and his wife taking accountability for how they showed up on TV. You interjected in that, baby. Then the issue was put on Mimi. Everything is, this right here was put on Mimi. When she put on that damn lady, okay? You and Mimi be doing too damn much. That's what's going on, okay? That's what's happening. But at the end of the day, is you gonna let him get a word out or you not? And no, I love when Eugene's like, there is no apology. Like, is you cool? No. And if you let me finish, I'll take my part of accountability that I need to, but stop thinking that I'm gonna apologize to your punk. It's what you think this is. Okay? You trying to be a newbie coming on the show like you punking me. Like, no. We're not doing that. I don't give a damn what nigga sitting on this stage that got you thinking that they got your back or because you were supposedly a football player. Like, I don't give a damn about none of that. Like, are you cool? Like, is he okay? This man said, I see who you are, and I'm going to hold you accountable to that. You're Eugene Bush. First of all, that wasn't a read to me. To me, it wasn't at all. I wish you would have said, and that's fine, and I'll be that. Because I'm going to stand behind my wife every chance I get. What the hell are you talking about? And it's funny that you would, and I love that Eugene did not take this approach with him, but you saying he Eugene Bush, but you the one that's working under your damn wife. You working under your wife. So it's given that you're Steve, whatever Mimi's maiden name is. Like, huh? But it really wasn't a read like a lot of people felt like it was to me. They was like, oh, this is so funny. Ah, yeah, he got him. He ate with that Eugene Bush. Not really. But I ain't no man. Okay, so maybe it was like maybe he felt the way about that. Like, okay, you trying to sun me or you trying to punk me or whatever the case is, but I don't really see that's a real. I'm gonna stand behind mine every time. Like, what we talking about? So Eugene is pretty much telling Steve, like, yo, you're new here. I've been here for a few years. And basically how I took it was you don't really understand how it goes or how we really communicate with each other when we have an issue, because I feel like you taking it much further than any of us have really taken it. So then Curtis jumps in and says, because he been sitting over here twiddling his fingers, baby, ready to jump in, talking about something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long he's been here, 2 years, 10 years. It doesn't matter. Where did it start? It started in your house. Respect should be given. Da, 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 da. Well, then, first of all, you need to have that conversation with Steve, because in my personal, Steve is the one that's disrespecting Eugene. And that's number one. Number two, that is exactly what Eugene is talking about. Because Steve is new here, he don't really know how it goes when it comes to how the men choose to communicate with each other. And that's something that he got to learn, and he may learn it now that he made a fool of his damn self. Even though you got some people that's like, oh, I love it. I love it. He brought a different energy to the guys group than what we've seen before. Oh, I love it. Yeah. And then when it carries on into the next season, y'all gonna be the same ones that's like, oh, I don't like this. Leave that to the women. Leave that to the women. Yeah. Oh, okay. Either way, I loved how Eugene is like, okay, Curtis, we get it. You don't like my wife. Okay. All right. Here you go. We don't need you jumping in on every damn thing. Okay. Trying to find the issue with it all because you don't like what my wife said about you, which ended up being facts. Now we get it. We got it. You can go on. Thank you. Thank you. Baby, when Curtis sat up here and said, I got an issue with the truth, we know. We know, baby. We know. We see that you have an issue with the truth. Because you don't like it very well, do ya? Damon is now talking about the situation involving he and Heavenly Son, and what all took place. And I don't have much to say about the matter, but I hope that he's doing okay. I hope that they are in a better place with their child. But what I will say is that Heavenly and Damon sound like they were talking about two different things. I don't know. I don't think they were fully on the same page. The only thing they got on the same page was the fact that we're not going to go in depth about our child's situation, right? But all in all, Damon sounded like he didn't know what to do or something. But then Heavenly, I could have sworn Heavenly talked about it in the first part of the reunion, as if this is something that's happened before, and then they put him in a facility or something like that, and then he was free to go. I don't know. Heavenly kind of made it seem like this was something that they've kind of dealt with before at the same time. And then also saying that she didn't know what to do. So she called Mimi, and somebody highlighted in the comments that Heavenly didn't even know Mimi at that time. Child, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Y'all didn't know what to do, but you called Mimi. But then Damon said that, but then you said Damon never told you anything that was going on. Like I'm confusion. Okay. But that's what's going on. I rest my case, Your Honor. These people are on two different pages talking about two different things. No, the story is not fully straight, Your Honor, but they have both agreed to not further discuss the situation at hand, and just let everyone know that it was a mental health issue. Okay. We do hope that everybody is doing okay, Your Honor. But can I say this, please? I would like to say this. I hate that Heavenly loves to bring up other people's lives and stuff like that, but don't want to discuss her own. But I do appreciate her not talking much about her son's situation, because I feel like Ashley Darby would have did that. No, ma'am. No, she would not have. Ashley Darby would not have did that, baby. She would have dragged that family member on this damn show, made them sit in front of them cameras and tell us how did they feel. Matter of fact, he ain't even had to be on the show like her stepdaddy for her to pull somebody connected to the situation in to tell them how they felt when the daddy ended up being arrested over a damn mental health disorder or whatever the case was. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ashley Darby would have put it all out there. And I don't even fault them for not doing it. Right? I do not at all. I can't even fully fault when I compare this to Ashley Darby. When I compare it to Ashley, I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Because Ashley ass when it did none of that. But considering who it is, it's like BIT. Now, see, if this was Simone's son, you'll be ready to talk. Now, wouldn't you? Either way, let's keep going. Come on, Scott. Now, Scott, baby, let me tell you something. You may not plan no damn birthday party. You understand what I'm saying? And you may not go the extra mile. But what you did do was show Steve, who still didn't learn because what? He about ain't been here long enough, which is what Eugene was saying. You showed Steve how to have the conversation with somebody, okay, when they wife be doing too damn much. So you have Dr. Damon talking about how he don't like when people make lies or people say certain things about him or whatever the case was. And you got Simone yelling in the back, they tell your wife not to do it to us. Okay. Number one, who making lies up on Damon? I don't think nobody on this stage made lies up on Damon. I don't think a single person on this stage has made lies on Damon. Okay, only one person on this stage about gonna do that. Maybe one in a possible. But aside from that, I like how Scott pretty much told him, like, well, you do know that your wife has done certain things and this and that or whatever, yada yada, blah blah blah. Woo. Okay, you kind of gotta like understand that, like, she said some things to attack just about everybody on this stage or whatever. That's how you can have that conversation. Okay, but I guess Scott's not looking for a moment, so then it would look differently coming from him, right? So Damon pretty much apologizes for the people he feels he's accountable for. Okay, and I feel like all them extra words weren't necessary. All you had to do is say, I apologize on behalf of my wife and her actions or whatever, right? Um, but if he didn't apologize and he was just holding her accountable or whatever, cool. Okay, because people be thinking accountability comes with apologies as well. But he does feel like, I ain't do nothing to nobody though. Like, why they come for me? And I feel him on that too, because I do feel like getting the men involved at times is so unnecessary. And primarily it comes from heavenly. So when Curtis is sitting up there talking about, so where did it start? Where the darkness started? Where did it start? Go find her in the back room, because it's heavenly. In my personal, especially the moment she created her YouTube channel and start giving even more, right? That's when I would say more discourse started to happen with some of the friendships on the show or people being upset with her over that, right? But Simone isn't wrong, because unfortunately he is a casualty of war, and even if we don't agree with it, it seems like it's something that's going to continue to be happening. I know the men be like, just leave me out of it, child. Just please, girl. I don't think they're gonna stop. I don't think they're gonna say, you say something about me, BIT, I'm gonna say something about your husband. It's a mess, girl. It is a whole arse mess. But let us keep going. Baby, once again, Cecil also showing Steve how we have conversations in this group. We don't have to be on the same energy that the wives are on, okay? We let them go and do their thing over there. All right, Mr. King. Remember how the guys linked up and you over there asking them, you wonder what the ladies doing to me? And like, we don't give a damn what they doing. They probably somewhere hooping and hollering. What the hell they got to do with us right now? Okay? Period. And that's what Cecil is saying. Cecil just like, listen, well, what Cecil is saying is like, hey, it ain't the guys. You talking to us like we did something. It be the women. We don't be on that stuff. The women be on that. You talking to us like it's our fault. Right? Ain't none of these guys on this stage has approached any of the women in a bad way. Okay? Child, but I did see y'all trying to resurface that clip around of Eugene when he sat up there and said the ladies were acting like, I don't know if he said a bunch of B's or a bunch of N's. Whichever way it was, all in less than 10 minutes, that man turned around and apologized to those ladies, and those ladies accepted that apology, child. So let's not act like, okay, I saw the people trying to say that Eugene made it go dark at that moment. Cut it out. Stop that mess. So pretty much, Cecil is just talking about how the ladies have said things to hurt everybody. I don't know where he was really about to go with the conversation, because Damon jumped in and said that he's not making the assumption that these guys have not talked to their wives, because he believes they have talked to the wives, but he also believes that, or he also says that he too has talked to his wife as well. And I don't know. Y'all think I feel like Damon to me may have talked to Heavily. Is Heavily gonna listen? Hell no. She gonna do what she wanna do. Why? Cause it's just how she is. I don't think a single man on this stage can control their wife. And we gonna keep this. This is gonna continue to happen because y'all don't control y'all wives. Y'all go to them. Y'all have certain conversations with them. But then when it's time to show up for the show, the ladies got to show up and they got to get their checks. Okay, so if you're a casualty of war that day because I'm pissed off at your wife, then that's what it's for to be. Do you want the check or do you not want the damn check? All we ask is y'all don't let it get into y'all men's mess. Okay, and should it get that far, know how y'all finna have the conversations. Okay. That's it. That's all they doing. They just showing Steve how this go. Damon's so funny talking about has gotten better. Heavenly has not gotten better. However, she has stopped her YouTube. So maybe that is why he's feeling like she's gotten better because she's not coming down to the YouTube and giving all this extra stuff or whatever the case is. I want to talk about this real quick. Once upon a time, Lisa Rinna and Candace both said that they were fined, right, over how they showed up on Twitter. How was Heavenly fined for how she showed up on YouTube and Twitter, social media in general? Was she fined as well? I do wonder if she'll ever say that. Okay, hopefully Carlos will sit down with her, do another interview and ask her that question and see what she says. And then, my question about her demotion. Did you guys demote her primarily because she's running for office, or did you demote her because the YouTube channel was a bit too much? Finally, was it that? I think it was because she was running for office, right? I think she was probably trying to figure out her contract, figuring out whether or not she was going to be a part of the show while she's running or whatever the case is. I feel like that's the reason she was honestly demoted. But it could have been a YouTube channel too, finally, after all these years. But IDK. But then also, I don't really see it as a demotion either, though. I don't see Heavily being friend of as really a demotion. I do see it as a step back, but that's because she's running for something else. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder, y'all let me know y'all thoughts about that. Do you feel like it's a demotion? Because I feel like as much as she's a friend of right now, she could be back on a part of the credits next season and more camera time next season. So I don't really feel like it's a demotion. Now I want Ashley Darby demoted since we're gonna be seeing her next year. Now y'all can make her a friend of, but anyway. Baby, here goes Steve. Y'all see what Damon did? Oh, so Damon didn't do a narrative spin, but Damon had accountability because he apologized, even if he wasn't wrong. He apologized. Then you should say, Cecil, I want an apology, right? But you keep asking for accountability, and I feel like Cecil has done that. I'm sorry, not Cecil, but Eugene. I feel like Eugene has done that. Okay, then you say that he's deflect. How is he deflecting, baby? You just not getting your way. See, Steve, I'm starting to question how you really show up in your marriage with your wife if this is how you be acting. I'm just wondering, what's really going on? But either way, he don't have to give you an apology. It's just that simple. And the fact that y'all not bringing Jackie into the conversation is what's killing me softly. Steve is giving clown, baby. It's giving bedazzled clown. All right. I'm just being real honest with you. That's what it's giving. And I say that because you look at Cecil in his, I keep saying Cecil, Lord. You look at Eugene in his face. Okay. Telling this man about being accountable and not deflecting and stuff. And so as Eugene is preparing to address you, you want to say, I didn't say you. No, I didn't. No, no, I didn't say that. No, that's not me. No, it's not you I'm talking about either. No, go away. No, sir, you're looking him in his face and you're talking to him. He's addressing you. Now you sit up here and say you weren't talking to the man. A hit dog will holler. Baby, I think that you've been hit and ran over. Okay? You have been hit and ran over because you have been hollering the entire reunion. You are the hit dog, okay? Help him. Help him out. Please, okay? Andy asked you, if you don't mind me asking, who exactly are you talking about? Well, it's It's very obvious who I'm talking about. Bedazzled clown. Bedazzled clown. I didn't say you a hit dog will holler as I'm looking you in your face. Who are you talking to? It's very obvious. Pack him up. That's why Eugene says it's a bunch of hit dogs hollering. Like, come on, Eugene. Question. Guys, what's something your wife does now as a wife that you wouldn't ask her of as a girlfriend? And Curtis gonna sit up here and say sex. Okay. And then everybody hyped him up and say that they believe that Jackie is a bigger freak than she leads on. Okay. Mimi and Steve talk about their parenting of a special needs child. I think this is the best part of them. I'm glad that they're being open about that part of parenting their kids. So that's that, or more so their son, the one that I believe that she said that he was autistic. So good for them for opening up that and being able to maintain some type of balance within their relationship while they're also doing that and being overwhelmed while he also works for her as well. But also Simone letting us know that Cecil has 2 jobs. Simone, thank you so much for letting us know that Cecil has 2 jobs. But at the same time, Michael came to you and said that he has a parent that makes good money. So I don't know which one of the people to do with that. We appreciate that, to know that Cecil can't afford some of the bills and y'all split it 50-50 and all of that, or whatever the case is. But again, Michael came and said that he has a parent that makes good money, which is you. So the question is, how has Cecil started helping out when it comes to the boys financially? Have you been able to pull back, or what is the situation? I want to get to the Med Gala talk. So Steve feels like it was strategic and it was very targeted what took place with him and Mimi being singled out, but then at a later time he said ambushed. Okay, these trigger words is crazy, right? So I feel like if you were targeted, right, very much so strategic, I feel like you need to put some of that blame on Jackie, primarily all of it. Because it's very interesting to me that Jackie always wants the credit, right? She wants the credit when things are going well with the Med Gala and Toya. Well, she had a good leader. But when everybody's getting on Toya's case, you quiet and you ain't got nothing to say. See, this is what bothered me about this Med Gala conversation, is the fact that Jackie stayed muzzled and she was giving more of the yeah, because you finna start being exposed. And the fact that y'all didn't pull her in and ask her any questions, to me, was that was just crazy. Like, why is she not a part of the conversation? Steve is ready to call out Toya and them, saying they didn't pay anything last year and they wanted to hide behind them giving wine the year before that. First of all, where you get your information from? That lady sitting down there by your wife? Okay, got you on that. All right, let's go to this wine conversation, because we'll get into the giving of last year or whatever at later time. Let's go to the wine conversation. Everybody gets so upset with the fact that Toya donated wine. I don't fault Toya for donating wine. I feel like plenty of people, organizations may be approached to give money and they offer an alternative, which would be a product. Now, the issue in my personal isn't on her giving the wine. The issue is on Jackie accepting it. See, if you did not want the wine as the donation, you could have gave her pushback and said that we're only accepting cash donations. But y'all didn't get that. You accept the wine, take the wine, use the wine, and then got an audacity to have an issue and try to use that as a dragging point for the rest of the years. Like she didn't contribute. She gave you wine. If you didn't want it, send it back. Say, hey, Toya, thanks for the wine, but we're only seeking cash donations only. Okay? Period. Period. You can't be mad that that's what you accepted and then trying to use it against her at a later time. No, ma'am, I disagree. Let's keep going. The gag comes in when Toya says, you don't know what you're talking about, Steve. You don't know what you're talking about, baby. The money was given to Jackie last year. Jackie over here like, y'all know why Jackie doing that? Because Jackie don't tell these ladies. I told y'all that in the beginning. She don't tell them nothing. but you want people help. You want them to come in and help you, but she never really includes the whole group for real, right? This the same one that like Bout was sitting on the stage. I think the situation happened after Phaedra gave that money, because I think after the show went off, the lady still continued to drag Phaedra or whatever. But all in all, you the same one that still let people sit up there and act like that lady ain't never give nothing. Like she ain't never meet. You could have been solved that and said, hey y'all, Phaedra did give. This is what she gave. Phaedra had to do that herself because you wouldn't do it. Then you allowed a narrative to continue to be pushed about Toya not giving anything. You never cleared it up. You let them say whatever. Toya was down in the comments telling people that she gave, and people tell her, nah, you ain't do that, you ain't do nothing. And I don't fault those people really, because they don't know that. They only know whatever the show shows them, right? I mean, yeah, because I was thinking that Toya didn't give nothing. Now my thoughts have shifted as Jackie is over here nodding her head, because I wouldn't be in agreement with Toya. I'd be like, well, Toya, you not agree. Now, you know that's not fair. Okay, if you didn't give anything, then why are you whoop the whoop the whoop, or whatever the case is? But Jackie over here nodding her head and confirming the money was given to her. That's crazy. Y'all should have looped Jackie in a little bit more. Come on, open your mouth. Open your mouth up. Like you open your mouth up and told Mimi and Steve that they were going to be at your table. Open up your mouth, girl. Let's get into more. Now, Steve, you keep changing. You be switching up. You be we were singled out. We were ambushed. It was strategic though. It was targeted. Or we were targeted. I feel like you be changing so much. It's something with that. I don't know. And everything about you give performative to me. But aside from that, first you say confidently that Toya and them gave absolutely nothing. Then last year, the previous year, they only gave wine that Jackie accepted as the donation. Get it together. Then you follow it up with, once Jackie nods her head in agreement saying Toya and them did get that money, now your tone changes. Well, not your tone, because you're still loud. But your words are changing now. And now what you're saying is, well, we've given, we we gave more in 1 year than they've given in 3 years. Oh, I thought they didn't give though. And now is we've given more. You don't even know what they gave. You don't even know what they gave. It's weird because it makes me question, do y'all like, I feel like y'all in competition with the Harrises. And I know some people for to say, Jamie, that's so far-fetched. But you know what also sound far-fetched? When y'all be sitting up here trying to say that Toya be jealous of these people that she has no reason to be jealous about. Get that together. But aside from this, I'm like, what is the competition about? Why y'all, what you competing about? What's going on? What's going on? We've given more than they've given in 3 years. Whoop de whoop. Okay, y'all bought the little $5,000 thing because y'all was trying to impress the people. Congratulations, thank you. Okay, but what? Yeah, y'all tripping. Mimi saying that Toya should hold everybody to the same standard. Girl, wasn't y'all just the ones where y'all said she was hooping and hollering and yelling at y'all all in the chat or whatever the situation was? In addition to that, y'all acted like y'all were the only ones stopped. Okay? Everybody had to pay. Brandy them had to pay. Angel had to pay. The lady that was collecting the stuff was right there by the front door, especially afterwards. Okay? The people that did not pay, everybody had to pay to get in. Hold everybody to that same standard. Like, first of all, y'all need to start holding Jackie to a standard. Jackie was the one that told y'all that y'all were at her table. But what Jackie failed to communicate to y'all was that the $2,500 was to cover the overhead. This is the $2,500 that all the ladies give. Gave the same thing last year. Everybody gives the same thing to cover the venue space, maybe the food, whatever it is. That's what that is. As far as the scholarships, that was going to be from the money off the door. We're going to write checks based on the people buying tickets to get in here to give scholarships to these people. My question is, Why didn't Jackie communicate back to Mimi and her husband that, hey guys, even though I paid $2,500 and I have a table, and this is Jackie who has sat in on the planning as well with Toya, as we've seen on the show, okay? Why didn't Jackie let y'all know, hey, my 2,500 really just covers this? It does not cover y'all coming into the venue. Like, yeah, you could sit at my table, but at the same time, everybody has to pay to get in. Why Jackie didn't tell y'all that? So she telling y'all at her table. And why Jackie didn't communicate that if it's supposed to be I'm buying the table, because typically, yes, I do believe that's how it may typically be ran, where you pay $2,500, pay whatever for a table, you bring your guests or whatnot, right? And of course, I feel like different charity events do different things, which is why Toya was like, this money is what we always put in. Everybody get their own table or whatever, but the money is going for the overheads. People that's coming in, they gonna have to pay they gonna have to pay entry fee to get in here. So why did you communicate that back to Toya that you had them folks coming in? I feel like that's how it works. But, Toya did something completely different, right? Toya did the overhead, and then you got to pay to get him. That's what we're doing for this. Okay? Because we're going to need the money to take care of the venue and stuff, but we also have to make sure we give out these scholarships. What other way can we do this to give out these scholarships? Oh, we charge people as they come in. Okay? It's just that simple. And is it about the cause? Because again, if it's about the cause, here, girl, you can get these $300. Get these $300 because these $300 going to take care of whatever else, like cool entry scholarship is for the cause. Because Toya is sitting here saying that Steve and his wife still have not paid it. And I feel like y'all say that it's about the cause, but it's bigger than the cause. Y'all are not paying it because you feel like it's going to Eugene and Toya when it's really going to this cause. So if it's about the cause, then just give it then. And I feel like I would be having a completely different conversation if I did not know that Toya paid already. And I was thinking that Toya still didn't pay. I would be like, well, it is what it is, right? But nah, go and pay that. And I'll never forget when Steve said in the confessional, he said something like, they want to trip off of $300 or whatever, like get the $300. You rather get $300 versus so many thousands on a painting or something like he said. But in the confessional, also at a different time, you said that it won't be another $5,000 purchase, or it won't be another purchase of art. Not this time, not with y'all. So you weren't intending on doing anything. You were intending on just showing up to the event. That was it. You weren't intending on giving, helping the cause, or none of that. All because you feel like somebody left your wife out, only to find out that ain't nobody leaving that lady out. And if anybody left her out, go call your girl Jackie, because Jackie never included your girl who's supposed to be at her table in the photo shoot. See, Mimi issue is she thought that $5,000, her buying that $5,000 was really art that Quad made was supposed to be her guarantee into the group that they supposed to just notify her on all details and everything when it comes to the Met Gala, and that's not how it's ran. When really Jackie is only thinking about the core group as likely being the founders or whatever of the Met Gala. Child. But again, I don't fault Mimi for feeling like, damn, y'all didn't include me, but you want my money. No, I'm not giving it. That's why I supported Steve not giving the $2,500. But at the minimum, just gonna pay that $125 for entry fee. It's that simple. Now, this is the crazy part. Because again, Mimi is still saying she was targeted and everything, right? And it's something about, I guess, their presence that irritates any insecurity that they may have. What insecurity would she possibly have about you? I don't know if you're insecure about her, but I do feel like you may view Toya how Jackie and them may have viewed Toya at once upon a time, that she is not a doctor. Maybe you felt like you should have been over to Met Gala because you are a doctor and she's not a doctor. I don't know if it's because she lives a life as similar as you, if not better, and all she gotta do is kick her feet up. Okay? And she can show her as however way she wants to, figuratively and literally, and Eugene still gonna love all of it. So I'm confused on what insecurities there would be that would irritate her because your presence is there. Is you cool as if you did not walk onto this season This one, season 1, when you had your party shading her from the very beginning, and because she chose to not support Heavenly, who has absolutely nothing to do with you, right? You go to Brandy and then throw another shot of be careful with who you align yourself with. You have a strong disdain for Toya, and it's leading me to believe that you have the insecurities, okay, that are triggered and irritated. And I'm just trying to understand why. Because you don't gotta like her. I'm just trying to understand why you don't. Only for you to follow up with saying that you don't know her enough. Yikes. Don't you hate it when people that don't know you don't like you? It's giving hypocritical. It's giving hypocrite for me. So Contessa says that, this was supposed to be for the ladies, right? It's supposed to be for all of the ladies of the show. At some point, it became the Eugene and Toya show. And she felt like Eugene should have just sat back and not involved himself. Contessa, America understands why you feel this way, my love. It's because your man wouldn't even step in to help you plan your birthday party. So we know he won't step in for a Met Gala. See, what you're also forgetting is when you have a group of ladies that have come together to say, we're going to put Toya in charge, right? And with her being in charge, we're going to teach her a lesson. That comes along with we are looking to see her fail. Jackie not speaking out to clear up the situation between Mimi and Steve as well, and whatever she may have told them or whatever her understanding of was it, right? Is also them wanting to see her fail. Now, you tell me what good husband is going to stand beside their wife, and when she says something means something to her, or if she's in charge of planning something, is going to sit back and watch their wife fail. Who do you know? Girl, probably yours. But aside from that, okay, Eugene wasn't finna let that happen. If y'all not gonna help my wife out, I'ma help her out. So if they not doing their part or whatever the case is, I'ma help her out. Like, and then even let's say that wasn't even the case, right? I just feel like what's wrong with this man wanting to support and help his wife out with this event that's supporting doctors, and he is the doctor. Y'all, like, girl, what? Eugene, you should have sat this one out. Whoop de whoop de whoop. But y'all doing something in good cause of other people trying to be doctors or people that are currently in medical school, whatever the case is, right? But when a doctor steps in to support his wife, now he can't. Do you hear yourself? I don't know. Now, I'm not going to say, Contessa was being flip-floppy because they wearing you out on social media already, but I feel like she was trying to be fair across the board with her, I guess, opinion where, she may have said some stuff to Heavenly and whatever else, and then this and that, say it's on a quiet, whatever. Maybe she was trying to be fair, but I see nothing wrong with it being the Eugene and Toya show. Y'all made it the Eugene and Toya show, high key. All right, with and Mimi and Steve definitely did. They came into it with that type of energy, as mainly Mimi. But yeah, Contessa, baby, you confused me on that. You confused me on that. You got an issue with people, husbands, helping them out or something. What's going on, love? Sit down and talk to me. What's going on with that? Because you came for Brandy when her husband did something for her. And now you over here feeling away about Contessa. I'm sorry, about Toya's husband helping her out. Girl, stop that. Toya said the past few years, Jackie did not include these ladies on that she asked for money. I believe that. Toya followed it up, did the same thing Jackie did. Now it's an issue. It's an issue because the goal was to give it to Toya to watch her fail. Okay? The reason I believe Jackie did not tell these ladies SHI is because of what happened when Phaedra was there, allowing people to spew narratives that were not actual factual. And why it was not actual factual is because y'all didn't know, because Jackie ain't tell y'all shit. In addition to that, right, Heavenly says while she's sitting here on stage, we still don't know what Toya and them gave. We still don't know what Toya and them gave. They probably didn't even give nothing this year, right? Well, do you know from last year or shall I say the previous year, whatever y'all did to Met Gala, do you know? Do you know from then? Because when y'all was out here talking, it didn't seem like y'all knew, right? So it seems like those are details that Jackie keeps from y'all. But okay, girl. Quad said a bunch of nothing. That's the reason she sat in the seat that she sat. Okay. She's still over here spewing and saying that Toya gave nothing after you just sat next to Jackie when Jackie confirms that Toya did give something. Yes, y'all were feeling away because that was the mentality. So I will agree with that because she's really speaking from what she didn't know. They didn't know Toya gave. All they thought was that Toya never gave, and it's saying Toya failed to realize that this wasn't a Jackie event. This was a everybody's event, whatever it was, regardless of whose event it was, she still ended up giving, right? And y'all felt the way about it, not knowing the whole time that she gave. Why she needed to say that point when it's already been confirmed, child, I don't know, honey. Toya is saying that Steve and Mimi still did not pay a dime. Now, I thought they bought the tickets. Mimi was over there with her phone. Was it Mimi over there with her phone? I thought she was over there with her phone, either talking to Eugene or maybe she was talking to the girl that was supposed to swipe the card. And she still didn't pay? So then what was the details in between that? Did Jackie step in at some point and say, oh no, I got them, don't worry about it, I'll pay their portion or something like that, or I'll take care of it? Did Jackie step in at some point, or what happened? Because I'm not hearing enough from Jackie if they have not paid yet at all. Again, the conversation would be different if Toya didn't already pay and Jackie did not receive one of Toya's givings, okay? The wine as a donation. Now, when it's time for Jackie to open her motherfucking mouth, because she been sitting on mute, just nodding her damn head this whole fucking time, in agreement with whatever Toya is saying, because she know that shit is fact. She gonna sit up here and finally want to speak on what's positive about it, and then want to bring up the 501c3 or whatever, but fail to even mention that Toya did it. So Toya had to open her mouth and say, that's because of me. All y'all doing is hooping and hollering, right? All y'all doing is, Toya failed to realize that this is not a Jackie event. This was everybody's again. And all y'all failed to realize that y'all should have moved a step further with making this an actual organization. All this hooping and damn hollering. But Toya will never give you your things because you're that girl. Aside from that, okay, all this hooping and hollering. Jackie not saying nothing but want to open her mouth and say something positive. You should have opened your mouth up and cleared up any miscommunication or whatever was going on, okay, behind you and in front of you. And wasn't gonna give Toya her credit the way you jumped in there when Andy was giving Toya her credit. Well, she had a good leader. Why you ain't double dutch your ass into that conversation? Okay? Yeah. But ain't nobody say, oh, good job, Toya, when she mentioned the 5013C child. But y'all hooping and hollering. She ain't give that. She about to give this or that. And she whoop-de-whoop and then boop-de-boop. A damn mess. And Jackie like, she did. She did. She gave. Yeah, Andy. Yeah. That was Toya idea. She gave. He barely want to open her damn mouth to get that credit. A mess. Y'all, so they're in the back of the guys went in the back of the room. Why did Steve automatically walk into the room saying, and I'm not giving an apology because da-da-da. Okay, number one, right? Eugene never asked you for an apology. That's number one. Number two, it's a bit comical when you sit over here telling Eugene that he should hold his stuff to a certain standard or whatever the case is or whatever. You want an apology from him, but you ain't offering one back or whatever. Yeah, that's funny. But the man never asked you for one. And I'm with Eugene. I want to ask you for one either because you damn sure ain't get no apology from me. You said what you said. It's cool. Just like you say you see me, I see you too, Miss Steve. Okay, and that's not taking a shot at his manhood, masculinity, or nothing like that. I just don't know Mimi last damn name. Okay, that's why I'm saying Miss Steve, or shall I say Miss Mimi Steve, Miss Mimi husband. Okay, now we see each other. That's what he should. I see the type of man you are, Eugene, but we see each other. He should have hit his ass with that candy. We see each other. So now we're here in the back of the room and, Steve is saying that it's not personal and Eugene is like, but it is personal. And he's saying it's not personal, right? Well, that's interesting because, you have the people on Twitter, especially that was up in my mentions, trying to tell me that, the interview that him and Toya did, him and Toya had did. Toya was talking about him and Eugene, not us primarily Toya. When Eugene stepped in, it was more so about he and his wife, right? But aside from that, okay? And, you know, Mimi and Steve got wind of that interview that dropped right before the reunion. And, you know, he was upset about that. That explains all the extra energy that he's giving. Well, why he ain't say that? Why didn't he say that? So one, I don't believe that, right? Two, Eugene is saying it's personal and Steve is like, it's not personal. Well then, let y'all tell it. It would be personal, right? Because Toya went onto a platform and threw some shots. Why he ain't say that? First, he made it all about the ticket. It's about the ticket. It's about the ticket. Like you approached us, da 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 da. He made it seem like it was just about that. But if y'all paid attention, it was about the same thing. But Steve continued to shift, and it's very weird behavior here. And I feel like we probably gonna see that at a later time. But don't come back telling me nothing, okay? All because y'all chose to be team me and Steve because you don't like Toya. Don't come back and say nothing to me. Because one thing about this fan base, baby, this audience, they can be very fickle. Okay, so enjoy it while you got it. But yeah, is it personal? Because if it one to me, it is giving personal. And if it is, then say what it is. You keep making it about the gala, but what's the issue? And it must be personal because let them tell it. Mimi and Steve. Oh, it's something about our presence that, you know, irritates their insecurities about us. So it must be personal for you to even take it to that thought process. When the biggest issue y'all have really had has been the quote unquote gala. So I'm like, huh? When your wife has done the most when it comes to Toya hasn't done the most when it came to her. I'm so confusion. Make it make sense. It's not. So it's personal. It's definitely personal from y'all side because it's not personal from Eugene and Toya's side. What is that about? And again, because I know y'all ready to be like, well, Jamie, they was talking about, say that. Say that. Somebody else tried to say, well, they mentioned it and it was cut. And you know, they couldn't say Carlos's name on the platform. Why not? Why they couldn't say it? They've said it before. Why they can't say it? And even if it was an issue, they didn't have to say his name. They could have said Eugene and Toya did an interview and we ain't like that and do. Like, there was a way to get your shit off, especially backstage. So yeah, nah, it's giving weird on their side. It's not personal, but continues to make it personal. Your wife has talked about me with my shirt off, saying I'm attractive. I don't recall Toya ever saying that you were attractive, okay? But if she did, whatever, okay? But to inflict that upon him as though he is insecure and that makes him feel some type of way. Do you know how much shit Toya has said? Toya has brought men on the show with dicks. Dicks all out. Toya has done other things, and you think that it would be because of you that she fell away? King was here. And you would think that it's because of you? Girl, you letting that piece of basketball career go to your head. And don't act like when you see that pudge over there, okay? Cut that out. Like, is it like, girl, classless. Baseless. What Cardi said? Tasteless or whatever. All of that less is what it's given. They singled him out because first he says, oh, you singled us out because of my wife this, my wife that. And then now you're coming to Eugene saying that you were singled out because his wife complimented you. Do y'all not see the line moving with these words? Y'all don't see this? Y'all don't see it now, but you're going to see it. Give it time. You're going to see it. And can I say this? This man saying all this as if the finest man in the room ain't Shamar. That's what's killing me, Soft. You saying all that, I'm telling the truth, and you know it. Are you okay, sir? That's crazy. Like you all of that. He's not all that. Baby, the finest one in the room is Shamar. I am confusion. I need you to calm down. And y'all fans, I hate it for him because y'all are hyping him up for a letdown. In all honesty, it's cringy. Woo, baby. Steve said, I'm gonna say what I want to say. You're not gonna stop me from saying it. Let me tell you something, Steve. I I'm with you a little bit, okay? Because people be trying to stop me, and I'm gonna say what the fuck I want. I don't give a damn how you feel. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm with Eugene. You can say what you want to say, just not to me, okay? All right, don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me, okay? We see each other. I'm out of here though, because you can say what you want to say, but you'll be saying it to the wall, ho. I've given you enough of my time and attention, okay? What did Mariah say? I will not come off my chariot to continue to throw tomatoes with your whole sweetheart. Collect it, okay? Collect it. Pick up the tomatoes you've already dropped, boo. But you won't get no more up off of me. And Steve, baby, you annoying the shit out the guys. You're annoying the hell out of them. And how we know you're annoying the shit out of them is because the way Scott looked over at him and said, that's what's going on with you. You hangry. That's probably what it is. You hangry because you hungry, right? Yeah, that means, yeah, I wish you shut the hell up and put some food in your mouth because you getting on my fucking nerves. I can't even hear the women because you so loud. Okay? But you sit up here talking about Eugene acting like a woman and then he want to be the women. Get it together. Bedazzle the clown. Shout out to Toya, period, for holding this season down, okay? Yo, Meg Gala was a part of the set, and then didn't they do her closet one time? Either way it go, honey. Shout out to the woman in charge over there on Married to Medicine that's keeping the people hot and bothered, okay? Toya said that, she's going to continue to fight for the truth, so you do that. You continue to fight for that, period. Even though we know fans love when the people lie to them. They love lies, honey. But you keep fighting for the truth. In addition to that, she says she will apologize, or at least she can apologize. It does hurt. It hurt. I don't know why it hurt you so bad, girl. Just let it roll. Just let it roll and let it flow. Okay? Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Okay, get it on out. All right. But all in all, she said that she don't hold grudges. Okay. I feel like I don't know. I was gonna say I feel like the ladies don't do that in this group, but some of them do. They hold the grudges, child. But either way, okay. Between Simone and Quad, the grudges still be held, child. Either way, okay. But all in all, Toya is at a place where she feels that she can move forward at the end of the damn day. Okay. So we'll see what is there for her and Mimi, you know what I'm saying, and whether they'll be able to get along. But I honestly don't know how Eugene and Steve will move forward. I would think that they can, but I don't know. Because I don't think we really seen it like this, the way a guy came at another guy on the show. And also, can I say, I don't know, I just feel like Eugene had to operate in a bit of more poise. Number one, that's who he is. That's his integrity. That's how he shows up. That's his character. But also as a doctor. Okay, I feel like also as a doctor, he got to be mindful of how he show up. Whereas Steve, he's not a doctor. Last time I checked, Steve happened to be a retired NFL player. Okay, and works for his wife. So I don't know. He probably could show up in any capacity that he wants, and his license wouldn't be threatened, right? But again, I don't know how these guys would move forward. But good luck. The ladies is ready for Heavenly to get her ass on. Okay. As much as some of them may be hoping she loses, right? Like told you wasn't gonna be in that position, BIT. I think they are hoping that she does win so she can get up off this couch. Because the way Contessa says, so this is goodbye, huh? Contessa, like, she could go. I've been seeing different comments where people are like, oh, the show, there's no show without Heavenly. Y'all know how I feel about it. Nene thought the same thing. Okay, I'm sure Karen even thought that when she got locked up. Like, stop. Like, y'all gotta cut that out. Y'all act like it ain't other stars out here ready to be discovered. Like, cut it out, people. Ready to fill in them shoes. Cut it out. Everything gonna keep going. And this is no shade. And it's not that you won't miss these people, God forbid. But there have been people that have left the entertainment industry as a whole, and the entertainment industry is still going on. Like, stop acting like just calm down, girl. Child, before we go, we know Simone and Heavenly gonna get the huffing and puffing and hooping and hollering at each other and yelling, okay? Heavenly don't like the way that Simone has attacked her husband. And Simone just like, girl, but you've attacked mine. You've done a lot of stuff. Everything that I'm giving to you is after you've already given it to me. So, girl, it's giving a reaction. All right. They'll figure their stuff out. Okay. I will say this, as much as I didn't want to see Simone and Quad continue to go at it, like I was tired of seeing Quad and Toya, I'm glad they're in a bit of a better place. I don't think I want to see Simone and Heavenly continue to go at it, but you know, it is what it is, girl. All right. It is what it is. Heavenly says, you put your business on TV that I would never do. Pack her up. Cause why did you even sign? Why are you even here then? Y'all need to ask for that same energy y'all be asking for when it comes to Giselle. Y'all sign a contract to give y'all real lives. When some of the housewives don't give their lives, aren't they penalized? Hey, Kenya, how are you? Aren't they penalized if they don't share their real lives? Yet y'all be out here showing favoritism and being passive. What Candace said, the line is always moving, but let's keep going. And it also would not be a reunion if we did not end it on Quad and her theatrics. This is a family. We're going to duke it out. No matter. This is my family. Even when y'all try to sit up here and give me advice and I push back on y'all because I really don't want to hear none of that shit you bitches got to say because you hoes can't tell me a fuck ass thing about anything. But this here is a family. And I could treat you dog ass bitches any kind of fucking way that I want. Understand? But nobody, and I do mean nobody, I swear to God I do. Nobody better not ever come for us. They better not ever think about it. Damn it. Okay, girl. So Quad has said what she had to say. That is a wrap on this season of Married to Medicine, baby. That's all that I got. I'm Jamie. That's me. Like up the video, share the video, subscribe, all that great stuff. I'll catch y'all in the next one, boo. Bye.
Family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking the drama.